This is a message to all those who are suffering out there and all of those who are better off not being born, and all of those in the future who are better off not being born. We understand how bad and unacceptable suffering is. The pro-extinction movement is fighting for you. Ethalists, for example, are against activism. Vegans aren't doing anything for wild animals or humans. There's no political party fighting for those who are better off not being born. And currently, the majority of life born on this planet is born into extreme suffering and a terrible life where essentially their birth is the ultimate harm. It is the ultimate bad. A life of extreme suffering and a cruel death is what the vast majority of wild animals experience, and far too many humans equally have an extremely terrible life. There is no justification for this. Unfortunately, the current society says that it's fine for life to be condemned to extreme suffering and a terrible life, and especially for those who are worst off and who are beyond any question, suffering terribly and harmed by being forced into this extreme suffering. Most wild animals, for example, are eaten alive as babies. So, the ones we see are actually just the luckier ones that have managed to survive. For most life, it's a terrible existence. And even one bad life is far too many. There's no upside or justification or trade-off that makes that bad life and the extreme terrible suffering within it acceptable. Survival and just mindlessly reproducing, watching Netflix, and there is no value or meaning to life and just continuing the species, or anything that justifies condemning innocents to be tortured, to be forced to exist, and to have a life of extreme suffering and agony, where they would unquestionably be safer and better off not being forced into this. Far too many victims have fallen to this and will continue to be suffering as a result. There are potentially billions of years of future victims depending on us. That is why we at the Pro-Extinction Movement are fighting for those victims. We are coming to help you. We are here to stop all reproduction.